Hello everybody, this is Dedra with Paper Crafts and Planners, and I'm here today with 10 cards and 7 tags that I made with the Spellbinders September 2020 card kit of the month, and it is called Whimsical Forest. It's really adorable. I will link below to the unboxing video that I did so you can see all of the pieces. I'll also show you at the end what I have left. Okay, so first of all, I took a piece of the burgundy, and I will let you know if something came from my stash and wasn't part of the kit, otherwise assume that it was. So, and I cut it to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and put it over the full front of the card base. This was a frame that had other pieces inside that could punch out or not, and I punched them out and then put a piece of this patterned leaf paper behind because I really just love the colors in it with the little acorns and everything. And then I just layered up some die cuts. This is a dimensional sticker that I took off of a different sticker. So don't be afraid to remove things and use things a little bit differently than the way it looks when you first receive it. This tag here says that was pretty sweet, and I thought this would be a great thank you card. As I said again, these little hearts were part of my stash, but everything else came with. These were scraps, and I used this little punch here to punch the smallest one, and then the others I cut by hand just to kind of decorate the inside a little bit. Card number 1. Okay, card number 2. What I used from my stash was this die cut, and it's a recollection, so you can get it at Michael's. And I cut out 3 different sizes of these hearts. This one I used on the front, and I took Distress Oxide and Faded Jeans and a little finger dauber, and then I just went around the edges to give this kind of some dimension. I think you can probably see where it's darker around the edges. And then these are puffy stickers that came with the kit. And this frame I left exactly like it was. I love that little see the good. And you've got the gnome on top of the snail. Too cute. And then on the inside, I'd also sponged around these and put those little 2 other ones in the middle. There we go, card number 2. Card number 3, I used this little frame die. When you cut this out, it cuts out a centerpiece too. It's going to come out. And then of course all these little tiny pieces. So I cut it out twice, once in white because I wanted to do an inside to this frame. So I cut it out in the gold mirrored paper and then in the white. And then I took the stamp set and I stamped randomly around all of these little fall leaves that came with it. And I colored them in with alcohol markers. Now I'm not going to show you my alcohol marker coloring because I don't have any special talent with it. I just use them like they're crayons in a coloring book. Really, and that's why I don't have Copics. I have inexpensive alcohol markers. I did the same with this guy. He is a stamp right there, and there is a die cut that cuts him out. So I wanted to make it look like he was either falling into the leaves or jumping in the leaves. Either way, I wanted it to look like it was sort of an action photo. Then this is another piece of this stamp set. It says there's no one like you, and I just cut it out and put it on top of some of that mirrored paper and then trimmed around. And then there are 2 layers here, a burgundy layer and then a piece of printed paper in this green. I think it's called houndstooth, but I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. And then on the inside, I just put a leaf and a couple more tags with some scraps. This tag came with this family is forever sentiment. And I stamped from the stamp set this hedgehogs and kisses and that little heart. And then I just layered some of the flowers and leaves and a couple of the hedgehogs that came with it. These right here, these blue flat back pearls and this little shiny one, those all were part of my stash that I had in my craft room. And then on the inside, I just put this little die cut with the 3 little trees that I thought was so cute. It was really hard to kind of not use every die cut. I really wanted to use them all. They were all adorable. Okay, this piece was a tag that came with it. And I layered some of this pattern paper behind. And then I this was part of my stash, this little flat back pearl or gemstone, and then this heart. Otherwise, everything is just layered up die cuts. I love this little mole with this. He has a little heart on his envelope, which is why I chose that heart to go there. And then on the inside, I put another envelope and a little strip of paper. Okay, this one got a little bright, wild. I think if I did it again, I would cut a white piece to go behind that frame maybe instead of the floral all the way through. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But I think I got a little wild. And then I layered up some flowers. And again, this was a frame and I took the pieces out of the middle. That's another die cut. it says good on you, which I thought was cute. Maybe a congratulations card. Okay, I don't know if you could tell, but in the center of every one of those flowers, the white flowers, I took and used this Nouveau glitter drops in Blue Lagoon, which I really love these things. They're so fun. I have a few different colors. And then on the inside, I had a scrap piece of yellow that I'd cut something else out of. And so I just layered up some pieces and a white piece on top so it's easier to sign the card. That would turn out cute. Okay, this paper, I loved it so much. It looks like the handwriting practice paper when you were learning cursive, right? Really cute. This hay came separate from this little ticket die cut, and I just layered them together. And then this little ticket die cut says true story. This one says you are loved. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different die cuts here that I layered together. The little bookworm in the books. But it says, hey, true story, you are loved. I thought that was so cute. And then on the inside, I used that little tag that said real life and some more of the paper. There's that one. Okay, this one I wanted to use the little die cut that made the hedgehog. So there are all these pieces, and then there is the little to cut out the individual. And you could still see I have the paper stuck in there, the dark paper. So he goes together like this, and you can see his little ear. There's a flap behind it, so you can put the little quills behind. And then I just used some alcohol markers to sort of color in the nose and the eye and the middle of the ear and layered him together. But I just thought he's just adorable. I mean, I'll probably use him quite a bit. And then I just put some mushrooms and some leaves. And these leaves were really big. The stems were quite huge. So what I did was I cut them off and then stuck them behind. So trim them down, cut them off, do however you want to make them fit. This white piece of paper, I took some more of this Distress Oxide, and I used one of these blending brushes. Now this isn't one of the expensive ones. This is a makeup brush. And so I just kind of blended in the middle and then blended out towards the edges. Again, I do not have a special talent with that, but there are some people on YouTube that really do. And so these were inexpensive. I think I got them on Amazon, but they come in all different sizes, and I'll link to those. And then this little tag that just says friends like these, and some printed paper in the back. I love these hedgehogs. They're so cute. And then on the inside, I just put another die cut. All right. This guy was a dimensional sticker, or he is a dimensional sticker. And then this is a frame, and behind it, I put some of this rainbow paper that I thought was so cute. And then another pattern behind. That smile tag again, and just some sequins. I hadn't used any of the sequins yet, and I've got an entire bag full that came with this card kit. And then on the inside, I just put a couple of scraps, one at the top, one at the bottom, of these little wonky rainbows that are so cute. All right, last but not least, here is card number 10. I used some of the yellow, bright yellow paper, and then some of this wood grain looking, a few mushrooms, a little die cut gnome. This is a little die cut, and it says Home Sweet Home. And then this tag says Keep Cozy. I thought that was perfect to send to somebody right now. We're all staying home a lot more, right? And then these 3 little yellow pieces, flat back pearls, were part of my stash. Then on the inside, I just put a few more mushrooms. Okay, let me show you a few tags that I made. This was a tag that came with the set, and I just layered some die cuts on it. That's all I did. And this one was a dimensional one, so I went ahead and used it like that. This says, let this adventure begin. And you've got a backpack and a little coffee cup and a little book and a heart. I just layered pieces. And I used these punches. This one is Paper Studio, so that means it came from Hobby Lobby. And then this one I think I got online. If so, I will link to that. And then I put this little with love on the back. So all I've done with these is just layered up pieces and used scraps of the printed paper and those punches. I also have die cuts that do stamps. These tags, but I just didn't want to get those out. And then I've got more of these Nouveau drops and these flowers. I love that little snail. And this says Showered with Love. So cute. And this is some more of that handwriting paper. And I just layered some pieces on top. Better With You. And I put to and from on this one. And these are all different pieces that I layered together. And this too, just layered some things on here. I love this little clasp envelope. And then this piece came from the bottom here. And I just put it on the back. with the to and from. So you can see you get a lot of dies, you get a lot of stickers, a full stamp set. I mean, it's a lot. And I have all of this left. So the paper, I didn't even cut into all of this. And here are my scraps. My granddaughter has asked me to make her a card kit with this particular one. So I'm going to cut some things up. I have all of these die cuts left and make her just a kit with some bases and envelopes. And I think she'll really get a kick out of putting together her own. She loved this one. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Links will be below. I really appreciate it when you use my links. It doesn't cost you anything, but sometimes I make a little commission. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Happy crafting.